Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley, presented by the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. I'm Christian Oliva del Rio. I'm the CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber. And with me today is George Christianson. He's the park manager for Dead Horse Ranch State Park. Welcome.
Well, thank you for letting me meet with you today. Visit.
You know, we were kind of talking a little bit about your history, your background, and I think that you deserve a much more important name than just park manager. I think you should be like chief park manager or executive director park manager, something better. You've been in the a ranger for a very long time, right? How many years have you?
I've been a ranger for Arizona State Parks for 18 years.
Wow.
But I still consider myself a ranger, even though I got the title of park manager.
Yeah.
Once you're a ranger, you're always a ranger.
Yeah,
so.
you get out there and not afraid to roll up your sleeves and get dirty and do what needs to be done, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Our jobs are very
diverse,
right?
Yeah.
Every day you're doing something different.
It's amazing to me that you're telling me about some of the background and some of the things you have to do, fire suppression and, you know, weed eating and whatever else, right? I mean, there's a ton of things you guys do.
Yeah, we do a lot of rescues on the trails. We have to certainly maintain a large park system, from cleaning restrooms to building maintenance, painting, etc. To all the landscaping that you have to do with the park. So,
it's interesting. It's a lot of work too. So, George, tell me a little bit about your background. I know that I've known you. I was thinking about this earlier too. Is that I've known you for at least 11 years, for as long as I've been with the chamber. So, tell me a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up, what brought you to the Verde Valley.
Well, what brought me to the Verde Valley 14 years ago, in fact, was had an opportunity to be the assistant park manager at Dead Horse Ranch State Park. Right. Prior to that, I'd been at Patagonia Lake State Park for 4 years as a park ranger and an assistant manager down there. And you know, when you get a position open in state parks, you got to move on it. They don't come open very often. They're very sought after. Right. And I love the Verde Valley. I grew up in Prescott, and Prescott, we always came over here to play on the Verde River. Right. We loved canoeing and kayaking the river. And so, being a Prescott native, you know,
you're a local.
We're local. We spent a lot of time over here, hiking and exploring Indian ruins.
It's amazing. I bet you've seen some changes, haven't you?
I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of growth. And but it's really nice to see that the Verde has not changed. You know, we've had a lot of good preservation efforts, and it's just a great place to recreate and to see wildlife. So anytime I could visit the river and spend time on it, I'm there. Yeah,
you're definitely a river rat, aren't you? Because you go all over the country and do that. I mean, you were telling me just about another trip, and actually just yesterday, weren't you?
Yes, I was on the river yesterday with some state park directors.
It's a rough job.
It's always good to be able to share the river. The more advocates you have for it, the better it's protected.
That's excellent, because
that's good stewardship.
Yes, and that's actually we're talking about Verde River Day here pretty soon. So you've kind of a long history of protecting the river and working on the river, right? So
absolutely.
So you've been in the Verde Valley for 14 years now. What brought you here specifically was that job then, correct?
The job is what did, that profession brought me here. Right. I went to college to do something in outdoor recreation and the outdoor profession. And so I, in 1995, I started quite a bit of my college education, and actually 1991, and then took a little break from it, and then resumed again in 1995. And just prior to 2000, I graduated with a degree in zoology, wildlife management, and that's what has been my focus.
You know. So you are sharing with me that you pretty much always knew that you wanted to be some sort of ranger, either U.S. Forest or park ranger, right?
Correct. So, yeah, or Arizona Game and Fish. So, just anything with the outdoor recreation profession. So.
I could imagine just walking out your door in the morning and going, "What a beautiful office I have, huh?"
It's the greatest office you can have.
So what's kind of involved? What if somebody was interested in becoming a park ranger or a national park ranger as well, or anything that has to do with, conservation or the state park system?
Yeah, in order to get into state parks, it's important to have a good background in, we have a diverse mission there. We have construction. We have people that are very good in landscaping, and then again, it's important to make sure you get that high school education and then all the college education you get, and preferably in an outdoor natural science background, because the field is very competitive.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting, and thank goodness for you guys being out there and taking care of these great places for us to visit. We do appreciate the job you guys do out there.
Well, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your family. You got kids?
I do. I have a wife and 4 children, and they range from 20 years of age down to 9. I have 2 that are in college right now, and actually one that's going to NAU currently, and same place that I graduated from. And
that's awesome. So any of them interested in following in Dad's footsteps?
Actually, a couple of them keep telling me they want to do something with wildlife or zoology, and then in particularly a couple of them have even expressed interest in working outdoors, and they have a real great love for the outdoors as well.
Right, I could imagine. I mean, you guys live at the park, correct?
That is correct.
So what great exposure to being outdoors all the time, and I would imagine it would just naturally fall that way, huh? So,
it is, that's one of the opportunities that park rangers have a lot of time to be able to live with the park and where they get to work. And
So you've shared some of the amazing places that you've visited. When you take a vacation, you actually go out, right?
Absolutely. When we go out and go on vacation, we'll try to go to many forests and national parks as we can. This summer we were able to go hit 8 national parks.
That's amazing to me.
Be able to get on a couple really big rivers, the Colorado and the Upper Snake, and do some kayaking. So
that's excellent. Yeah,
always fun to visit other parks.
So tell us a little bit about, I have to ask the question, which is your favorite state park in Arizona? Doesn't like putting you on the spot. They're all good.
They're all unique. They're all great. It depends on what your liking is. Of course, I'm partial to Dead Horse. I've spent the most amount of my years as a park ranger there. But I really enjoy Lyman Lake. It's really nice in eastern Arizona. It's a beautiful park. It's quiet, a lot of solitude.
Yes.
Has a big lake for recreation on it, and then Alamo, of course, during the winter.
We were just talking about that, Alamo's,
Spring, you can't beat the
crappie
fishing. There's something that really draws you there, so you got to make your trips to Alamo.
Yeah, I tell you, the last time I was at Alamo, we caught 8 bass in less than an hour. It was hot fishing, so beautiful.
I had one of my best crappie seasons this year with over 43 crappie, so in just one fishing hole there.
Dead Horse, I was blown away when I moved here 24 years ago, and Dead Horse Ranch was kind of that escape for me. It was nice to be able to, within 5 minutes, I'm at the, out at the park and can camp all weekend, and it's like you're not in town anywhere. The beauty of it, the river running right next to it, and the lagoons. Can you give me a little bit of history of the park itself? When did it open? When did it become a state park?
It opened in 1973, and how it got its name was from the Iries family. Previous owners to it. They were looking at ranches to buy, and as they toured around different ranches in the state of Arizona, and were doing this. They were from Minnesota, and this is in the 1940s. As they visited the current place of Dead Horse Ranch, they saw a dead horse lying along the road, a draft horse. And so when they asked the children which ranch they should buy, they said unanimously the one with the dead horse. And so they made it a condition of sale.
You're right.
So to retain part of that name when
it's
State Park
interesting.
bought it in 1973.
Sure. Cool.
So you can't beat that.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the park, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Come on back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio, CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber. And with me again today is George Christianson. He's the park manager for Dead Horse Ranch State Park. And right before the break, we started talking a little bit about the history of the park and great story about how it's got its name, right? So can you give us a little bit more about the park? What's unique about Dead Horse?
I'd say what's unique about it is, of course, being on the Verde River, having that riparian area.
Right.
Having those 3 lagoons that are fed from the Verde River really make it a unique system.
It does, yeah.
The amount of wildlife you're able to view is what
incredible.
makes it.
Right, right. You know, and every year we actually have a birding festival at the park, right? And it's because of our riparian habitat.
That is correct, yeah. We, the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival is held from our Friends group. Friends of the Verde River sponsor that now. And it is a wonderful opportunity for people to see birds from, that come in from all over the country.
Yeah, it's quite a wide range of species that come in from all over, right? That come into this area, and it's along that migratory path, right? Which makes it so unique. Some of the other wildlife that we might see around there, I know we've seen beaver in the river, right? And
absolutely. The beavers have come into the park and made their home in our lagoons.
Yeah.
Of course, we have the river flowing through there, so you have a good opportunity to see beavers there. But in the lagoons, they're there. Yeah. They've made some lodges.
Right.
We always have to work with them to keep from damming it up so much and trying to overflow the ponds.
Sure.
But we have river otters, which are really unique, and that is a great find for people because so many people just can't believe that there's river otters in Arizona.
Right,
you know, and we have a really good, healthy population of them. The bald eagles are just amazing.
It's incredible, yeah, I love it.
You can almost see them on a daily basis. It used to be, spring and sometimes during the winter when the trout stockings.
Sure. It's amazing. I don't think a lot of people realize how many bald eagle we actually have in this area, huh?
Yeah, we have quite a few nesting pairs that are up and down the Verde River, and they've made their home there at the park because there's good opportunities to catch those stock trout. So,
yeah, that's the other thing too. Then with the lagoons, there's fishing available, right? So stock those ponds pretty regularly, right?
Yes, those ponds are stocked from the end of October through typically March, April, depending on the water temperature, every 2 weeks for trout. So that makes for a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And then during the summer months, they're stocked with catfish.
Right.
At least 3 times. Usually National Free Fishing Day, you'll get a stocking. Before that, or maybe even one extra one, and then we get one before Verde River Day.
Yeah.
And in fact, we just got a surprise stocking 2 weeks ago of catfish.
Great.
And so that was great back on August 22nd.
That's going to be nice. So you think any of those fish will still be available when we do Verde River Day?
I think they will.
Yeah, and plus we're going to stock it as well, right, for that event specifically.
Yes,
so
so we'll have another stocking just prior to that.
Right.
So with these two, it should be
fishing should be pretty incredible. Yeah, awesome. So tell us a little bit more about some of the events that you have throughout the year there. When we already kind of talked about the birding festival, obviously.
The other events that we hold at the park that are, of course, are the birding festival.
Right.
During June, we always have National Free Fishing Day, and that's a great opportunity for people to come out and fish free for the day without fishing licenses, because it's a nationally recognized fishing event. And we always have a good stocking, and usually have a pole loaner program.
Right, I was
Arizona
wondering
Game
if there
and
was
Fish.
So they actually will provide you with a pole and bait and all that.
And teach you how to
teach
fish
you how to do it.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity.
That's awesome. And then of course Verde River Day is the one that that's the best event all year, right?
Absolutely.
It's the best event because we are celebrating the river and bringing awareness to our riparian habitat and how important it is to us, right? So tell us, what if somebody wanted to learn a little bit more about state parks, and you guys have a website, I'm sure, and Facebook page.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, we do. We have both a Facebook page and a website. Go to azstateparks.com is the easiest way. And then if you do, people want to post something, we do have the Facebook page. It's www.facebook.
Right.
State Parks. Dead Horse Ranch.
Right.
State Park.
Okay.
So yeah.
So great. So what are some of the other cool things that people can do at the park? I mean, you offer not just, there's trails, right? There's horseback riding. Tell us about some of the other amenities at the park.
Yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities for recreation.
Right.
Everything from horseback riding. We have a permittee that brings in horses every day and takes people on horseback rides. On trails, and they get a chance to get down along the river and see some great opportunities for wildlife if they aren't into the hiking aspect of it.
Yeah.
But we do have over 20+ miles of hiking trails.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Go from the park out onto the U.S. Forest Service land.
Right. Between us and Sedona, there's
correct,
the Lime Kiln.
There's the Lime Kiln Trail that goes all the way to Red Rock State Park. So. So there's a lot of great opportunities, and those are also multi-use for mountain biking.
Right.
We have some fantastic single track, and they make some really good loops out there.
Yeah.
So, and then of course the fishing opportunities are immense for bass, catfish, bluegill, trout during the winter months.
Because it's not just in the lagoons, you can actually fish the river as well.
You can fish the river as well. A lot of guys will come and fly fish both the lagoons and the river.
Yeah.
And then of course you can kayak, anything paddle craft oriented you can put on the lagoons.
Oh yeah.
And then of course on the river as well. Multiple places to access the river.
Right.
But the watchable wildlife is really great.
That's a big deal.
That's really big.
Because we got so much that's coming through there. It's amazing. Yeah.
And then not to mention the camping opportunities.
Right.
We have over 150 campsites.
Right.
8 cabins.
Yeah. I've had family that have come, stayed in the cabins, and loved it. It's great if you just want to get away for a quick trip, and you got a place to stay.
Yeah,
it's nice.
We call it those that want to be up off the ground.
Right.
Our camper cabins.
Yeah.
You bring your own bedding.
Right.
You do your cooking outside.
Yeah.
And but they do have heating and cooling, so it makes them really nice.
It's real nice.
Whether it's winter or summer.
Yeah. And then of course camping. So you have for those that love being on the ground, you have tent sites, and you also have full hookups, right, for RVers. Yeah.
Yes, we do. We have sites that are just exclusive for tents, so they don't have to be near the RVs, and the RVers don't have to be near the tents if they don't like. And but we also have those RV sites that have 50 amp service for those that want to bring in their big motorhomes and trailers.
Yeah.
And,
like I said, I've come to the park several times. It's a great escape from the hustle bustle of our big city, from the San Francisco Bay Area. So Cottonwood's not quite the big city, but it's nice to be able to just get out of town, but not really be. If you had to, take care of business or whatever. It's nice to have that escape, and that's the thing I love about the park itself, is just, you know, to go out and have a picnic. We've got ramadas out there, barbecue pits, things people can come out and spend the day, enjoy the day, or spend a whole weekend, and it's just awesome. I love the park.
It is a great opportunity because you're right here in town, but you're outside of town. Like you said, you have that river as your isolation. It makes it great for staycations.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
they forget something and they can
You
run to town. They can run to home.
Old Town is right there too, within a couple miles. It's really, everything is real close. So it's nice to be able to come and camp and be able to go into Old Town and maybe do some wine tasting or something as well. Or if you needed to actually get to a grocery store or whatever, everything's real close. So great location.
The location is the best for you.
So I tell you what, we're going to take another quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Verde River Day. All right?
That sounds great.
Okay. Thank you. Come on back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva Del Rio, CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber. And with me again is George Christianson from Arizona State Parks, and he's the park manager there. So we were talking a little bit at the break about, you know, the camping and everything. So the park is very popular. I'm sure it's kind of hard to just show up and be able to expect to get a campsite, probably, right?
There is.
It fills up pretty quick, right?
There are certain times of the years it is very busy, and you do need to make reservations way in advance.
Right. Can you give us a little information? How can people find out about making reservations and whatnot? You can obviously go to arizonastateparks.com/deadhorse, and can they make reservations from that website, or is it link them to somebody else to make a...
Actually, if you go to that website, it will link you, right? You can click on it. You just go to Dead Horse, and you just go to make a reservation, and it'll lead you right into that.
Gives them all the information, shows which the spaces are available and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
you can do that online, or you can call the call center as well. We do have a call center if you're having difficulty making reservations.
Do you have the number off the top of your head? Probably not, but it is on the website and information there, right?
Yeah.
Plus, they could always call the park.
If they call the park, exactly.
Perfect.
We can do that. So,
great.
And then you also have there's information on the park as well on the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/deadhorseranch SP /.
Perfect. Great. So check out those sites and get information about staying at the park. We have this big event, and this is my favorite event of the year. This is sponsored by State Parks and the Cottonwood Chamber, is Verde River Day. And this year it's always the last Saturday in September. This year it's September 29th from 9 to 3 at the park, right?
Correct.
Give us a little bit of history about this event. There's a reason why this is so special.
Well, you know, it was started 29 years ago.
Right.
This will be the 29th year.
Right.
Next year will be our 30th, and we're pretty excited about that. It was started by a group of individuals, park managers, and and some local businessmen that wanted to see that the river's protected, as well as some other conservationists.
Sure.
It needed to have some attention brought to it so that it would be taken care of for future generations. And how it actually started, they just started with a cleanup. You know, they removed a bunch of old cars from the river bottom.
Yeah, because it's sad. I mean, the river is actually being used and abused quite a bit.
It was. Back then they thought that was an okay practice to use it for rip-wrapping the shoreline to keep it from expanding. And, and so there was a lot of stuff to put in there that what really today wouldn't be wouldn't happen. So so there was a lot of focus brought on it, and so
the conservation of it and the protection of the river, right? I mean, we were just talking about the whole riparian habitat there. You know, that needs to be saved and protected. That's the beauty of it, right?
Absolutely. The rivers in the Southwest are few and far between.
Right.
And to maintain a healthy flow, you got to have a lot of supporters of it, and it's important because that's where all your wildlife go for its sustenance. You know, and it doesn't matter where they're. It's the migratory birds or the mammals that are along the side, from the deer, the white-tailed deer, mule deer, bobcats, all of them utilize that corridor for their habitat.
How long is the Verde River? I'm sorry to put you on the spot with some of these, but it's one of the...
It's long. It's 170 miles from the headwaters at Sullivan Lake to the Salt River confluence. So, and what's really unique about it is this upper part of the river from the headwaters to Dead Horse, you know, is free of dams per se. You don't have no big reservoirs. You have those down below the Wild and Scenic section, which is below Camp Verde. Once you get through the Wild and Scenic, you have over 40 miles of great Wild and Scenic, and then you start getting your reservoirs, Horseshoe and Bartlett Dam. And
so the whole idea of this event really was to educate people, right? Bring awareness to the river, and so the day of the event, we actually have it's a nonprofit event. So all of the agencies that are there are nonprofit organizations, right?
Correct.
And they all have their own unique take on the river and how they're involved with the river, and the whole day is about, sharing that information, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, give us a little bit more about maybe some of the people that would be attending as far as exhibitors.
Well, it's always great to have the wildlife. We have, reptile displays, birding displays, typically, and we also have really good environmental education booths. U.S. Forest Service represents and teaches people about leave no trace and fire prevention. And it's always good to have Smokey there. And,
Smokey's there. He's
got
got a birthday or something, isn't it? I thought is it this year?
I'm not sure about that. I know this is for they're celebrating the Wild and Scenic anniversary. U.S. Forest Service, which is an important part because it fosters good ethical.
We get Fish and Game is out there too, and shows some about some of the species that might be in the river as far as fish and whatnot, right?
Exactly. As far as the native fish populations, I started to mention that earlier. It's really critical that we protect the river and maintain healthy flows for the endangered species that are found along the river. So they usually bring out a display. It's really good to have.
It's pretty interesting. It's a wonderful day out there at the park. Between the two lagoons there and the loop, we also will have a kids corner, which is great we'll have some bouncy houses and whatnot. But we have Buena Vista is going to be doing the sand castles. We have a big pile of sand that's donated to us by Bedrock Materials, right? And a lot of other good events that are happening there for the kids to keep them occupied as well, but also to teach them a little bit more about the river itself and how important it is.
It's a great opportunity for families and kids that may not have an opportunity to get out on boats. We do have the canoes out on the lagoon, so people learn to paddle. And that gives them a chance to get on the water and really have an appreciation for it. And then same way for those that don't have the opportunity to normally have fishing poles. We have the fishing clinic.
Exactly. Let's make it clear about the times too. So 8 a.m. to noon is the free fishing clinic. So if you want to come out and learn how to fish and use a fishing pole, that will all be provided to you. And again, we're stocking the ponds with a pretty hefty amount of fish, right? So you're almost guaranteed to catch something. So Again, the date is September 29th, Saturday, September 29th, 9 to 3 at Dead Horse Ranch State Park, and it is a free admission day to the park. There'll be food. We've got some nonprofit organizations, Kiwanis Club and the Moose Lodge and Knights of Columbus are doing a pancake breakfast. There's going to be entertainment all day long at the main stage. Be
multiple music.
Right. A lot of different types of music and great exhibits. So come out to the park and learn more about your river and the importance of it and how to protect it. Thank you for being here and sharing your information with us.
It's always a great opportunity to meet with you, Christian, and the Cottonwood Chamber for sure.
Thank you. We appreciate you. All right. We'll see you next month. Thank you.